What's up, Day 875? I'm Cadet Larson, and I'm here to do a little video about dynamic stretching and its advantages and why you should do it before a workout. So pretty much all of you have been told that before a workout you should do some type of warm-up or stretching, and conventional wisdom says that static stretching is appropriate. In the last couple of years though, dynamic stretching has made like a big comeback, not really a comeback, but has come forth as a better way of warming up for your workouts. So here's basically why dynamic stretching is better. In static stretch, you're going to be lengthening your muscles, but they're going to be cold and tight already. Alright, so what you want to do is get some blood flowing through your muscles, get them warmed up, and preferably you want to do some sort of movement that is affiliated with your workout. So say if you're doing squats, you want to do something that's going to help you start warming up your movement for squats. Okay. Another really important part about dynamic stretching is that it's going to activate your central nervous system, and that's going to help you perform the movement better. So I'm going to go into a couple of demonstrations of dynamic stretches that you haven't seen at PT already. The ones we do at PT are actually pretty good, but they're also very generalized for the workouts that we do. So I'm going to go through a couple real quick, and then I'll talk a little bit more, and we'll be done. Alright, so the first one I'm going to show you is something that I use for my squats, because I'm particularly tight on the inside of my legs here, and for a squat, I'll have to keep my legs really close together, and it's really hard for me to keep my back up straight. I want to do this on my squat and get my butt down. So what I want to do before a workout in order to get that loosened up, get the blood flowing, and get my central nervous system activated are a couple different things. First, air squats are really good, except you don't want to do them fast. That defeats the whole purpose of your dynamic stretch. Although you do want to be moving during your dynamic stretch, obviously, you want to do it slowly and you want to feel the stretch, but not for too long. Okay, so first thing I would do, say if I'm doing squats, is I would do a nice slow squat, hold it at the bottom for a second, feel the stretch, and then come back up. Alright? So that's something you can do if you're warming up for a squat workout. Another one that I really like to do is you're going to go like this. You're going to put your leg up next to your hand, feel the stretch there, but you don't want to hold the stretch, right? Then you're going to go back, go to the other leg. Okay, you can actually, there's a progression for this. If you bring your legs up like this, here, and then you can go straight up into the squat. So that's a great warm-up for your squats. Okay? Another one we're going to do here, if you have a broomstick or any type of pole really, it's great for warming up your shoulders and your chest. So, for example, if you're doing push-ups, or if you're doing any kind of weightlifting overhead, this is great. You want to grab the bar, or the pole, whatever you have, far apart, and then you're going to pass it over your head, behind your back. When you get to this point right here, you're going to feel a really tight stretch in your chest and your shoulders, but that's the most important part right there, because that's where the bar is going to be if you're doing weightlifting, okay? So, when you have the bar overhead like this, we're going nice and slow through here. You want to make sure that you keep your lats activated, and you want to keep your shoulders internally rotated. That means that your armpits should be trying to face forward, and you're actually trying to like break the bar apart. Okay? So it's just like that, and you're going to get a good stretch. Do however many of these that you need to warm up. Alright? Now this doesn't have to be complicated. Obviously you're warming up for a workout. You know what you're going to be doing during the workout, hopefully. So if you're going to be doing push-ups, you can just do a couple push-ups to get warm. I mean, that's essentially what you're doing to activate the central nervous system. So you do exercises like that. Makes it real easy. You can do jumps, lunges. Obviously, we've gone over a lot of that in PT, but it's really simple. Whatever the workout is, do it slower, more deliberate. Go to the point where you feel a stretch. Make sure that your muscles are warm. It's going to help you perform a lot better during your workout. Okay, a couple more exercises that you can do. I've done this when I'm training jiu-jitsu or any other sport. If you're going out for the football team, you'll do a different set of exercises, but some good ones to do is make sure that all your small joints are warmed up, because those are very easily injured, so you want to make sure that you warm them up. Are things like wrist rolls, like that, very easy to do. You can hear mine cracking because they're not warmed up. That's good, alright? Not saying that cracking's good, but warming up your wrist is good. Another one that you can do is ankle rolls, pretty self-explanatory. You can do things like arm circles to get your shoulders warmed up. you don't want to go, one thing that's really important when you're doing dynamic stretching is that you don't want to get overboard with it, right? So you don't want to like swing your arms around like this before you're even loose, because if you do that, it turns into ballistic stretching, which is very bad for you and can really hurt you. So I want to make sure that you're slow and controlled, but while you're moving and stretching at the same time. So another thing that I've done a lot, which is great for your mobility and great for your overall conditioning and lifestyle fitness, is yoga or Pilates or anything like that. Okay, so when you're doing these exercises, you'll notice that every yoga session that you go to, you're going to start out with a dynamic warm-up. You might not call it that, you might not say that, but it actually is. So the whole vinyasa flow, you'll usually go through like 5 of those before you even start your yoga session, right? You do like sun salutations to warm up. And the whole purpose of that is to loosen up your muscles and get blood flowing through them and start getting into the movements that you're going to be doing before you start. Because yoga is stretching intensive, you want to make sure that your muscles are warmed up and ready to be statically stretched. So you don't want to static stretch cold, it's very bad for you. So I'm going to demonstrate a vinyasa flow that you might do before you start your yoga session real quick. Alright, so actually, we're going to start in a standing position, like a mountain pose, alright, and then you're going to dive down into a stretch here. And remember, you don't want to hold this too long, so you're going to put your hands down, go into a plank, and then slow push up through here. Hold this for a second, and then into a downward dog, hold that for a couple seconds. And a lot of times in yoga classes, they'll tell you to pedal your feet. And that right there is a dynamic stretch on your hamstrings and your calves. Okay? And then lock your feet up, you're back in the standing position, you can start over. Okay, so that's basic dynamic warm-up for a yoga class. It's actually a great warm-up for pretty much any physical activity that you do.